Hello. Still holding up this book as a prop because it is relevant to the movies, at least one that will be discussed, and also I don't like being on screen alone, and Bo and Susan are too far back to be much company. So uh, the for one thing, I did take this book to Sleepy Hollow, uh, and this past weekend had a good time. I didn't read much of it while there, but just I like to have it. As we arrived in Terrytown, I read the opening lines, which describe uh, Terrytown and uh, give a reason why it's called Terrytown. I won't do that now because I already did it in the video, The Legend of Sleepy Hollow Part One, which is somewhere else on the website. But when we came back from the the trip, we watched the Legend, not the Legend of Sleepy Hollow, just Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton movie, because why not? But also because the first time we went to Sleepy Hollow, I refer to the malevolent supernatural force I live with uh, uh, as my travel companion. We had thought on as we got on the train to leave, we thought when we get back we should watch the movie. And, now we've been here, we should watch the movie. And there are many versions, as I have described, but this one's our favorite. And we got back, it was not streaming, and that was one of the first times when I thought I need this on DVD. So I got it on DVD. Last time I was up in East Rochester at the Book Nook at the East Rochester Public Library, and the DVD works. So that was great. It's a wonderful movie, great cast. Not very. It doesn't follow the book other than the characters have the same names, and the Headless Horseman is the monster. Ichabod Crane, the Johnny Depp character, and Katrina Van Tassel is a love interest. There's Brom Bones, but he's plays less of a role because it's a murder mystery, and of course the presence committing most of the actual physical killing is the Headless Horseman. And I'm no American literature expert, but I would say that as far as and also not being an expert in Native American literature, the Headless Horseman is, I think, America's greatest contribution to monster literature as a monster. It is a ghost. It is a headless ghost, but its place in culture. People know the Headless Horseman like they know Dracula or Frankenstein's monster or the Invisible Man, which I will be reading probably next week. That's back here. But there's a Stephen King book on top of that, and perhaps 100 years from now, at least one of Stephen King's monsters will be as ubiquitous as the Headless Horseman or any of those others. But and in the movie, the Headless Horseman is played, when it has a face, it is played by Christopher Walken. We get, the backstory of the Hessian soldier is in the legend, but we actually see it. We see, and he's given a little bit more character because it's Christopher Walken, who is a character, and most of the time, most of the runtime of the movie, it doesn't have its head, of course. But knowing that Christopher Walken's head could be there, in addition to he's really tall, and the horseman is really tall when he walks around. He's big and imposing and dangerous. It's kind of like it's scary, but it's also fun. The movie it reminds me most of, as far as like the Universal Classic Monster Collection. All those movies are of a piece. The only other movie that I can think of that is of a piece with this movie is the Brendan Fraser version of The Mummy. I think those two go together well. Also, while in Sleepy Hollow, I took footage around, mostly of Halloween decorations around at people's houses. Tried not to get their street number and street name in there as well, so no identifying information, but decorations for the music video for it's beginning to look a lot more creepy, which is the version of It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas that I wrote and recorded the audio of last Friday or Thursday, probably Friday, and then we had the idea to get footage and make a video which we did on Saturday, and I've been sharing it, and it will appear in the corner here at the end of this video, and every video that I make in the month of October, because I am really trying to get it seen because I'm so proud of it, and the malevolent supernatural force that I live with helped immeasurably with that as well, both getting the footage and then editing it together. So that's Sleepy Hollow. That was Friday night. I don't actually remember what we watched on Thursday night. I believe the final episode of Marvel's What If was one of the things we watched. I'm pretty sure we watched something else. I just don't remember what it was. So forget about that. Saturday was Sleepy Hollow. Friday was... What was Friday? Oh, Friday was Ed Wood, another Johnny Depp, Tim Burton movie. And I didn't really know what to expect. I know it's one of Tim Burton's more well-regarded movies. It's about Ed Wood, who directed... I don't want to say he was a terrible director, but he directed what are universally considered to be some of the worst movies ever, including Plan 9 from Outer Space. But the movie made me... It was my first real, education on him, and I know it's fictionalized, but it made me interested to watch some of these movies if I get the chance. I definitely will. But the reason to watch that movie is Martin Landau's Oscar-winning performance as Bela Lugosi of the aforementioned Universal Dracula. And I knew he won the Oscar. I knew I was a fan of his. And I'd seen clips of him in the role, and he definitely looked like him. But just not only did he nail the voice and the look and just kind of even a younger Bela Lugosi in Dracula kind of moved with the stiffness of a very old creature because he was playing a very old creature. And so it was easily identified in Martin Landau's performance. But the stuff he goes through, like toward the end of his life, Bela Lugosi, and again, I know this is fictionalized, but toward the end of his life, Bela Lugosi, a drug addict, I guess maybe an alcoholic too, he got help from a rehab facility, but I guess ultimately couldn't pay the bills and so had to leave early. Just very down on himself toward the end of his career. I read that because he couldn't speak English very well after Dracula, that limited his the offers he was getting, and which is why someone like Ed Wood could afford him. And just Martin Landau's performance and the friendship between him and Ed Wood, just that made the movie. I think without that performance, the movie would be good, but with that performance, it's one I want to watch over and over again. And as I was watching it, and it pairs well with many different movies. Obviously, we paired it the next night with another Tim Burton, Johnny Depp movie, Sleepy Hollow. And then last night, we watched the Bela Lugosi Dracula. But watching it, I felt so bad for him, and he's worried about his legacy. He's like, will people take him seriously? And I started to worry about his legacy, and then I realized, wait a second. Just not too long ago, when I recorded my Halloween novelty song, I was doing Bela Lugosi's voice. I did. It's beginning to look a lot more creepy. That it's an exaggeration of what he does in Dracula, but it is what he does in Dracula. It's every. I mean, I would. This is a non-scientific thing, but I would say probably that 70% of movie and TV vampires and 99.9% of his satirical and parody vampires are doing Bela Lugosi. And so I did it in that song. I did that voice. Whenever anybody says, "I want to suck your blood," like that, with the want, even though that's not a line in the Dracula movie, they're doing Bela Lugosi. So I felt a little bit better about his legacy at that point. And I don't believe in any kind of afterlife, but I do wonder how he would feel if he knew that. I mean, "I want to suck your blood" was a meme before people knew what memes were. And it's got to be one of the most widely spread memes. And so I just wonder, how he would feel if he knew that the extent of the reach of his influence just based on just that one role. And I've seen him in other things, and I plan to see him in more things. Up in Sleepy Hollow, I found a DVD set of his Shandu movies, which I know very little about. Didn't end up buying it, although it was probably a very good deal. I didn't check the price. They seem to be in good shape. It was a beautiful display, but I don't know anything about it, and I didn't want to spend the money on it. It'll probably stream eventually, all of those movies. And what else did we watch? We paired the Bela Lugosi Dracula with one of the Christopher Lee Draculas, Dracula A.D. 1972. Think of if like an Austin Powers-ish Sean Connery James Bond movie starred Dracula. That's this movie. The Malevolent Supernatural Force I Live With loved it. I liked it. But these Christopher Lee Dracula movies don't tend to have much of Christopher Lee as Dracula in them. And Dracula's not in the majority of the book Dracula, but he has some dialogue scenes. And this one had more than, I think we watched 2 last year. And this one had more than those did. And also, of course, Peter Cushing as Van Helsing. So I liked it. I am a loyal devotee of the Bela Lugosi version. Remains my favorite. It's the reason that I got into the Universal monster movies, and by extension, I guess, monster movies in general. So Bela Lugosi, the big theme here, even as I'm checking my Legend of Sleepy Hollow, because the music video, which will appear any second now, that I filmed in Sleepy Hollow on my phone, nothing fancy, I did, without even knowing, I did a Bela Lugosi impression to sing the song. So click on that, please. I'm very proud of it. The Malevolent Supernatural Force I Live With is very proud of it. And I'll watch a few more movies and then talk about them again next on Thursday. Any recommendations? Put them in the comments.